ones. Our writer has asked us to speak today on the issue of these royal monarchies that still exist in different places in the world. And it certainly is a time of very great change on the earth. And it is so that many of the institutions that so many have come to expect will just go on indefinitely are fading now. People are disengaging energetically. You don't really need a huge army to come in and remove people from their place of presumed authority or very high status socially or what have you, whether dealing with governments, militaries, royalties, etc. What is required now, dear ones, is that all of you hold fast to that which you know to be true, which is that you are gods and goddesses in essence. Your higher selves are beautiful, co-creative beings, and you are all becoming your higher selves, which is a very beautiful thing indeed. It is a moment in Earth's history and on this new 5D timeline in which you are beginning to enjoy the beauty of fifth dimensional Earth. It's a moment where you're beginning to not only remember, but to fully reclaim your own authority, your own powerful presence, and all of the rights and freedoms and various forms of expression that your soul will take through you. And for that, you'll find that you're not bowing, scraping, curtsying to anybody. You are standing tall, you're standing straight, and you're believing in who you are, and beyond that, experiencing the essence of it in your own inner co-creative power, as we say. You can create the earth that you desire. You don't have to feel that things like war and famine and discord between ethnicities or religions or nations has to occur, that it's just part of life. You don't have to accept that poverty is just a part of life and various forms of presumed scarcity. In truth, you know deep down there is no scarcity. And there's no saying that any one person is more important or occupies a place closer to heaven than what you or anybody does, whether it's a child in the family, someone who is unhoused, out on the street asking for money or food, or someone who carries great titles of nobility and all this royalty, all these titles after their names. It doesn't matter. All are increasingly on the same level now. And that level is one that celebrates diversity in all its forms and celebrates the expression of the human soul in all its forms. Yes, you can release violence and destruction, even on a level of that which you feel you have little to no influence, regardless of who you might vote for, how many petitions you sign, etc. As you see these young people demonstrating at the college universities and college campuses, you're witnessing not only young people who are expressing the belief that they are individuals who have a right to express their opinions and ideas and their ethic and to require a higher level of principled behavior and decision-making from their government and military. It goes well beyond that. These young people are claiming fully who they are in the sense that they are birthing a new world, and all of you, perhaps in a quieter way and yet still an utterly potent way, are also birthing a new world. And that world is going to be based on equality, on egalitarian concepts, and of course the backing of Nasara law. But we would say no need to wait until Nasara law is fully established and fully enacted in the US or elsewhere. No need to wait until you see all these ships landing and these beautiful, benevolent, galactic brothers and sisters are assisting you. We would say claim your power right now. We would say decide right now that the darker aspect of the matrix, whether it's constant war profiteering or the secret societies, human trafficking, particularly child trafficking, drug and arms trafficking, etc., all of that we withdraw our energy from, and it's going to deflate like a balloon deflating pretty quickly at that point. And what we mean by withdrawing your energy from these very old constructs that really belong to the dark matrix is not to react to them anymore, not to give them the power of thinking, oh, I have to be depressed or enraged because of what they're doing, not to grant that they have the power to stand over you and decide, yeah, you're going to feel bad about life today. because we're bombing this whole country over here, or we're denying this crowd over here anything like food or clean water, or we are allowing certain forms of trafficking because as a government we skim off the top of that illicit business, and on and on. And that's not even touching on what the earth herself is going through physically and all the toxicity she is throwing off, sometimes quite expressively. And, you know, you don't have to take your cue from those in presumed authority. You can say, you know, I begin each day talking to my spirit guides, my higher self, or speaking to Source, Creator Source, God, Goddess, the universe, and affirming I am going to send light into the entire world. I'm holding the whole world in that beautiful, cool, transmuting violet flame of Saint Germain. All the density is transmuting to pure light and to higher energetic forms. And from that is birthed incredible new realities for Earth and for her people. So you don't have to ever feel you're at the mercy of what they announce on the news, however upsetting as it may be. You don't ever have to look at people such as what they call Hollywood royalty, or those born into particular families, and decide, well, they've got it easy, they've got tons of money, the British royals being trillionaires, not just billionaires, but trillionaires, and owning so much, not only in terms of financial assets, but real estate, etc. And we would say, particularly for the British royals right now, that they are in crisis, yes, and yet out of that crisis, something new and far more empowering for the people of the world will be born. And it doesn't mean that the beauty of that tradition, the historicity of it, it will be going away. One can celebrate and one can learn from history, but it does mean that the hierarchical structures of this planet are toppling. And when you think of a pyramid, dear ones, and there are pyramids in the sun that our writer has been working with people on, but if you think of these beautiful pyramids, including the golden pyramids that are in the sun is not just a ball of fire. It has a great deal, it has structures internally in its interior. And when you consider the sides are arranged so that each side holds up all the other sides, and then the energy that is birthed within will spiral so as to grow more powerfully, and by the time it shoots out of the apex, whether that's a ray of light or a crystalline expression of communication, healing, various insights going out to the people of Earth or well into the galaxies, by the time that energy spouts up and out of the pyramid, it's not what it was when it was at the base of the pyramid. It's gathered a ton of beautiful light and remembered itself on a higher level. And this is what all of you are doing as well. And it does so without the hierarchy of the rectangular buildings, wherein as one climbs to the higher building, let's say of a bank or a corporation premises, one feels like, oh, well, I'm at the top floor with the CEOs. It's not like that at all. It's a matter not of physical construct, but of what energy and pure higher light can create in your world. And that may sound a bit odd, and yet a great part of your spirit is going to follow exactly what we're saying. And it's going to decide from now on, I'm going to gather the spirit within me to sustain abundance for all, to sustain peace for all. And you've heard that lovely old phrase from the 70s, give peace a chance. It's got more than a chance now, dear ones. It's got this beautiful outer trajectory of all of your expectations, beliefs, dreams, aspirations, and also your requirement for peace in this world, your requirement for abundance for everyone, and your requirement for equality and diversity, and to behold all persons, regardless of their outer status, regardless of how it looks, as being invaluable and all on a soul journey. And in the next incarnation, perhaps those born to be princes or princesses or kings or queens will be born the beggar, because their soul will be fascinated to know what's it like to be on the other end of things. It's not going to think, oh, wait a minute, that's not impressive, I'm not doing that. It's just going to think in terms of expression. It's going to think in terms of experience, and it's going to reach for things it hasn't done yet, or for the opportunity to give back, the opportunity to realize I need to start at the bottom and learn a bit more. And some in quote-unquote high places have already been in situations where they were, quote, at the bottom of the societal ladder or in the middle, and everyone will just keep playing with different costumes and makeup and settings until they learn what it is that their soul desires to learn. All of it good, all of it, however, moving into that higher light. Please do remember, you're in the fifth dimension now. You're on Earth's fifth dimensional timeline. And that doesn't mean that all the difficulty of the third dimension fades in an instant. You are releasing it, and you release it far more quickly when you just bless and give thanks for all situations, go into divine neutrality, release all that judgment, release the rage and the shock and even the sadness. You might, in fact, cry at the beauty, for instance, of these students knowing they're going to be suspended from their colleges and universities, and yet taking a stand for peace anyway, and singing together, meeting together, those of the Islam faith, those of the Jewish faith, those who are from other traditions or none at all of them uniting together to express we will have peace in this world. And consider as well, dear ones, the astrological influences and the light pouring from your sun now, these golden light particles, they're going into every cell, every particle of your being, and it can't help but shift everything to a higher level. And if you're wondering, well, why all the mess of all this light is coming in, it's because it's being stirred up so as to be released. The lid is getting knocked off of everything, that's all. That's why you see the illnesses and the vulnerability of those in places of formerly of great power. That's why you see exposed their goings on, which some would call deviant or dark. Again, it's just the soul wanting to know, who am I in this situation? And all of you holding the earth now in that beautiful, cool, violet transmuting flame, and in the rose ray or the green ray of healing. Let this come from your heart. They just send love no matter what someone over here or there is doing or saying. Just allow them to be who they are. And use that lovely Buddhist phrase, I wish you happiness. And certainly this is what we wish for all of you. It brings you into neutrality to appreciate, to give thanks, and to realize the story is a lot bigger than what they're announcing in the headlines. And I'm going to allow that. All of you are capable of that. We give thanks for you, for the miracle of your lives, your consciousness, all the light you are anchoring into this earth, planting such beautiful principles in a higher way. As light warriors, you're not picking up the sword, you're protecting and you're encouraging higher levels of growth and realization on this planet. So we give much thanks, dear ones, full, absolutely full of admiration for the beauty of your bravery and your commitment to this planet and to her people and all her beings. Namaste.